Welcome everyone. I believe we would review the action items from last meeting, which was June 7th. As everyone looked over the minutes.
I did submit my report even though I wasn't present, and it just says not present. So
I will change that.
thank you. That was just okay, I guess.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
As amended.
as amended.
I second.
Okay. Aaron Finley,
Yes.
Randy Farringer,
Yes.
Will Harbauer,
Yes.
Tony Wade,
Yes.
Lindsay Bucher,
Yes.
Take us to the park and bus report. And we can start with Rick would have a request. And I believe, did Rick?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see anything from Rick. Milestone?
All right. All right. Also looks great. I think it could be a little bit more tidy. So I do have actually. Hey, I printed some pictures. So again, it's good. It's a small park, so it is easily overlooked. But I have to say that orange. I don't remember what the artist's title that art piece of art is, but it's cool. I drive past it every day. It's neat to see there. The Orange Traveler, it's cool to see there. So I do think there's some simple things we can do to the park though to make it a little bit more attractive. There's some overhanging tree branches that we can get out of the way. My wife and I walked down there the other day and also took our bikes as well, and tree branches were a little too low. So I could easily get hit in the face. So I took some pictures there. There are also overgrowing, or some rushes encroaching on the sidewalk, making walking difficult. You have to kind of walk almost into the street. It's not a good idea, so I decided to take a picture of that. There's also some debris that should be picked up from trees, probably from some of our high-winds that we've had recently, but also just general weeding, general trimming, pruning, just general tidying of the park. So I did notice there's some old flower beds or something over there next to some arborvitaes. They're rotting, the wood border is rotting. It doesn't really look like it's anything that's neglected. So I think
The fence itself may be the resident.
I'm pretty sure it is resident. I don't think the fence is not. I don't want to include the fence in that. It's arborvitaes. I think it might be on public. On city property, but yeah, I think that's on private property from what I can tell from before. But there's the flower bed, which I was digging up, looking at some old stuff, and it looks like it used to be kept up by. It was planted back in 2010. It was a back perennial flower bed, and it just probably should just stay there. That's all. That's my suggestion in my report. So. Any sorry, that was my milestone report. Riverside looks fantastic, as always. I was down there for the 4th of July to watch the fireworks. I should July 3rd, watch the fireworks, and it was great. So there were so many people down there. It is one of the, well, I guess it's not a secret location anymore, but it's a good location to see the fireworks and to watch them on the 3rd. So it was my wife and I have been going down there almost every year since it reopened to watch them, and it's a good spot. So people flow in and out, and then just in general too, it looks good. Just some other days, but it's always in use. So.
So you can make note that Rick Gillis is in attendance.
Yep. Yeah.
I had an excuse. He took all my weapons out of my entry. I had to go lock them in the car. Yeah. Usually a pocket next to
So the perfect segue, if you want to do your report.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I have very, very few notes. So the restrooms are clean, the park is generally clean, and do you know when I'm coming there? Because it was recently manicured. Thank you, Greg.
Which park do you have?
Nice. I'm at Rivercrest, and the restroom, men's anyway, was in good order. Actually, I mean, does the staff that work the concession may keep that up, or your guys?
We both do.
Okay, it looks
Actually,
good.
Little League does man that during Little League hours, but our crew also does that morning.
And
All the other shelters.
I also take note, you guys, there's, what, half a dozen ash trees that you guys have kept alive? Thank you. Yeah, that's really, really good. I noticed one of the ash trees has a low-hanging branch, and I only mention that because it's one of the few things I saw that I could say. And I'm sure some people are passing through, so,
Is that in the main parking lot?
I'm sorry, so it's on what would be the south that it abuts between the parking lot and the interstate. And then also there, the drainage that's been an issue, and I see they can't even mow that because of the water. You get an 8 from me. Thank you. Well done. I ended my report.
Thank you, Rick. Right?
All right. So really nothing to report. There was just a branch that was hanging out. I just pretty much took care of that. It was too much. Other than that, it looked really good. And sorry if we already kind of touched on this. Well, City Council still trying to figure out paving or just paving in stone, or is that still kind of up for discussion?
That was going to come up when it was my report. I'll talk about all that when I come up.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool.
Rain is free right now.
Got it. And then other than that, honestly, everything was good.
Thank you, Randy. Next will be municipal with Chris, who's not in attendance. He did email, and just to touch upon some highlights, he recommended continued interest in a pool heater, municipal park pool. Just curious where we were with that, at least for if we're good with see was there anything wrong with that? Sounds like there was some complaints about the pool being shut down last year on August 5th. Questions about keeping the pool open, maybe on the weekends after that, in school. Chain link fence, the protective yellow corrugated buffer that was. Yeah, it looks like it slid off part of the fence there that was be north south on that street there.
Over the ball field there.
Okay. The area machine is in the right building, it's not working.
Yeah, that is Little League does that.
Okay.
Takes care of the vending machines. So I can call them on
And some cicada killers on the west side of our building, which are kind of long abdomen hospital creatures.
that. We have several places.
Okay.
Give them a call on that.
I would definitely second the fact that the basketball courts are pretty littered. Maybe like a second trash can there. Because when I go, I'm there a lot, like there's a ball and it seems like the trash can is always full. That's mostly the exhibition. Is there two there?
One of each end.
Maybe there at least the other one. So, that is missing on the
They're not
side.
very good shots.
The hoop is missing and net on the south end of the basketball court. And then I'm assuming it probably isn't there anymore, but there was a abandoned yellow shopping cart in the children's play area. And fields, just general disrepair of the different playground equipment there. That's about it. And then to add to that, between the basketball courts and the pickleball courts, there's kind of that low area where water collects, especially after it rains. I don't know if there was any plans to either fill that in or even just to get to the courts, to the gate right there. Something like a small platform plans to be built.
We did, just after the pickleball courts were built and the fencing went up, we did put a tile in to pick up that water, because it laid there in the outfield,
Right.
Meyer Field as well. Maybe we'll run a tile, tie that in, that area, but that is actually, a swale's been there to take that water off, as it comes off the court.
Right.
But,
Woodlands?
All right. So when I went two different occasions, particularly, there were several large tree limbs. They were kind of tucked underneath the trees, but they were just down. So I didn't know if someone just moved them there, or if we were going to take care of them at some point and collect them. Other than that, I saw progress was being done on that wood bench, so that was all taken out. And then the only thing was where all the slides are at. There were two green benches, and I realized, I guess like the metal anchors on the bottom. There's concrete. Well, they're pretty much all being rooted out. I have pictures I didn't think to email to the group to have if I can do it afterwards. So that was the only thing of concern. Because pretty much when you look at it, it's tilted down, so it just looks.
the benches.
Yeah. And then I realized both of them, they were uprooted pretty well. So I just didn't know if we could either do something, like a small fix, or would that be all redone?
Yeah, I'd have to look at it.
Okay. And then they were pretty filled up, especially throughout the weekends. And then even during the weekdays, at all kinds of different hours, there were a lot of people, which is good. Other than that, that will conclude my report.
Thank you, Randy.
Is there any, word on the rescreening of the paths of their homes?
Yeah, as needed, and that was,
That's some of those spots, I know I'm asking that, is that?
we had, I guess, a lot of rain this year, so saturation was a big issue. It's just finally, starting to dry up, so hopefully, we won't have those issues. But we are, preparing to lose our summer out here in the next couple of weeks, so we're gonna try to prioritize it, what we gotta get done before we do our seasonal. Try to get it all done. We did playground mulch too. We actually got rained out. We had Cedar Creek Church on their volunteer day. Usually we have 45 people set to help us with the mulching. But it was so much we couldn't truck material and get it done. So we canceled them. So we kind of stopped doing that ourselves now. So we did that in order for them as well.
That's easier. Vice Mayor.
Yeah. Eisenhower is always, I feel like, busy this year, but I noticed the yellow caterpillar toy. It's starting to the paint on the top is chipping off now, so I think you repaint in a couple of years or so, yeah, so probably can use some touch up, but, and then I thought, I don't know if there's some sort of permanent shade or something for the picnic tables. There's really only figured.
Three semi-load.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Three metals? You're up next.
There used to be a trash container on the east side of the big bridge. There's a fishing table there, and that's normally where I pick up all the trash. But you're putting in some new tables, so you might have trash cans close enough like that, so.
The pads that we put in, those are for benches, but, yeah, I can get another trash can there by the overhead light grill. Yeah, on the big pond side. Yeah, can do that. I actually fished one out of the pond on Monday. Yeah, last week, yeah, it was last week.
I was gonna ask about the marked sidewalks between the little bridge and the big bridge. They're gonna be replaced.
Yes.
And then I was gonna complain about the trash truck driving over those sidewalks. But I think he stopped. I saw him today, he was parked on the side of the road. So that may be a good. There's another problem, people are driving into the park. They're driving their cars into the park, and I don't know how you would stop that.
Call the police.
I did. But, I saw two people drive in. One guy was in an SUV and he left for us after one of his rainy days. I called the police on the woman that drove up right beside the shelter house. Okay, he poured the pads for the picnic tables. Concrete guy cleaned out his chute in the middle of the driveway at the new boat dock. There's a big chunk of concrete there.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, we'll have to clean that up, right, for sure.
Now, here's the big one. I've had two neighbors complain to me that the small child playground is not fenced in, and they have access to the pond. I don't have an answer, but Woodland, their small child is fenced in. So, these people that have been to Woodland, they say, well, Woodland's fenced in. Our kids are close to the pond, we got a playground be fenced in.
I don't have a, yeah, never has been, ever since the park's been developed, there's not that.
Well, I had a person tell me that since it's a pond, that it's sloped, so therefore there's no drop off. But if you look at the handout that Heather gave us, there's one that shows, I don't know what this is, it used to be a dock, I guess.
I used to
For
be
the benches?
fishing up here.
Here's where drop off.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then that is dangerous, that is a drop off.
Is it on the same side as the shoulder?
So this one lady tells me that the reason they don't go to the meadows, they go to Wood, because it's dangerous. And when they have like these big family gatherings, shelter houses, probably, you got little kids running everywhere. So I thought I'd bring that up. Now, the one that you really like is this one, the dirt piles. What is going on with that?
The dirt pods on the north side of the side? Well, we're gonna use that as part of fill for low areas throughout the pond or the park. Not yet got to. I think since that was the gentleman that left most of that there, you know, he graded that off. I think some piles have ended up being added to that in the middle of the night. Because some of that stuff is just pure garbage. All of it. It's got to be re-added, it's not good to clean it off.
That's dirty
Yeah.
fill. There's tree roots, concrete block. And so that's the leopard stuff that was going to use for the erosion project. But since then, they've leveled it off. Now we got a weed garden. And And I looked the other day, and there's 2 more dump truck loads dumped on the same spot.
Just recently.
Yeah, so is this a dumping ground for excess?
You know, it's not from us, just, we're gonna try to maintain that. So, we'll get that cleaned up, and we're gonna continue that erosion around there, so a lot of that they can use in that process as well. But the actual loads that you've seen kind of laying, the debris, we'll just have to haul that away. That's unfortunate.
That's another.
Thank you. So the I have Hood Park. I just rode my bike down there a little bit ago before the meeting. Again, it's great. So the porta potties down place and really built a privacy fence. And it looks like the boat house is pretty much done on the exterior, got siding, and so they're still working on the interior part of it. They've got that whole area seeded with straw down. And not technically, you could park my road towards Riverside. I noticed that. I think it might be private property, but the power lines, it's right as you go past, you'd be going west on that trail there, right as you go past the boathouse. One of the power lines is maybe 6-7 feet off the ground. Be someone's foolish enough to grab it.
People call that in, I'm not so sure that's an Edison line.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I'm pretty sure it's supplying power to the boathouse.
Really?
Yeah. Good. It runs parallel to the path. And once it's somebody's backyard, so they have those property rights. But a little concerned, sure. Man, those could support a lot of weight. That's all from our report. And the bicentennial, Todd is not in attendance. He did send an email, didn't have any overt concerns. He just made notes about how that section was reseeded where the garbage truck kept backing up. That looked good. And he mentions the fact that the all-inclusive parking facilities is one nice thing to be open parking around next weekend. I believe so. Awesome. And then Rotary. And that's Caleb, correct? And then Packaging Street, Caleb's. He also makes note the all-inclusive playground. He was there at 10 in the morning. Great. Still needs a little work done, but yeah, it's supposed to be open this weekend. So the block going weather like that. So no concerns there. Anyone else have any questions, concerns regarding the Parks report? See if anybody. Okay. Moving on to the next agenda item. That would be you, Councilwoman Deb.
The first thing I have to say is you all do a great job, and I commend all of you for what you do. So thank you so much. And I'd like to say that I am pleased about the opening of the Wood County Plays Inclusive Park, which is over at Rotary. It's a long time coming, and I'm very happy that it is opened. It opened on Saturday, although they've closed on Monday to make some improvements and add to the park. And I believe it'll be opening this weekend, as I recall. So that's really exciting. So very, very happy about that. It's great for our community and for generations to come. One thing that was brought to my attention regarding Rotary Park, since Greg, you are here, I will ask you. There were complaints from parents about the bathroom in the pavilion not being open. Do you know if there would be any bathroom access for people out there? That was on Saturday. That's what I heard. Yeah, during the opening of the inclusive playground, Wood County Plays.
It should have been open. The restrooms are on the timer lot, like
Yeah.
the restaurants. Yeah, so.
Just wanted to let you know, I had about 5 different parents ask me about that. So just wanted you to be aware.
Yeah, I'll have the timers go check.
Okay. And also, Woodland Park, I talked a little bit to Robin Ballmer. I don't know if anybody knows Robin Ballmer. She does music at the park for the farmers market. And she had mentioned to me that there are going to be several statues that are going to be installed for about a year. So that'll be till next year in August of 2022. I don't have the specific number yet. I think she said they might have up to 16, but I've been trying to find out what they are and what they look like so I can share them with you, and I don't have that. So, and I believe, Randy, did you just ask me something earlier? Something about, was it about Orleans Park?
Yep, just about if we had an idea of what was being paid or left alone for stones. And the only reason why I brought that up was just if whenever that topic gets brought up and then gets dealt with, I was just wondering if there was pockets that we can just fill up with stones for the time being. Like I know like that's something we do essentially every year, but just when you first come off in the main entrance, there's just 3 pretty steep holes. Like if you have a car, it's just kind of a pain. So I've been using that as almost kind of like one of the main parks now because I do my run over the Longview Perrysburg Bridge. And so I kind of become more adapted to that park a lot. And then it's just a little bit rough when you hit those 2. That's the only reason why I brought that up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about when you go in and out of there. That's accurate. It has been brought up. I talked to the city council, brought it up publicly, and for some reason, I'm not certain why they don't understand the need for not paving that there. My concerns are environmental, going into the water. It's not far from the water plant. For years, we've never paved it. And then you'd have to pave it year after year after year. So I think it's in the budget yet, but I haven't heard any start date or when it's going to happen. I certainly hope it doesn't happen, but I would urge all of you to contact all of the councilmen and urge them not to be for paving that. I agree with you that they could fill it in, and I think that would be a lot better way of dealing with it, is in my thoughts. So that's what I have on that. And I have to do this because Rick's here. Thank you so much, because I know you are a member of the Rotary, for all you've done with the Rotary Park and also what you've done with the pavilion and also being supportive of the Wood County Plays. It's very much appreciated. And I know you all work really hard, and I really appreciate it on my end. You're welcome. Does anybody else have anything else? Oh, and by the way, Tony, yes.
Some idea about a walking path around the big pond.
I have brought that up many times, and I haven't heard any deaf ears on that one. So hopefully that is going to be a reality. Am I right? That's what everybody seems to want. And I think you mentioned, I had it in my notes about a natural walking path. Is that what you were talking about?
Like I said, I'm on 1/3 of that park, wasted. Next to the expressway, there's nothing there but an old pole. Would be a great place to
Okay.
walk.
Yeah, I commend you if you're talking about the natural. I was just thinking about people on their knees. But I think the idea is fine with me. I think it's great. Anybody else have any other comments? I'll support it. Any other thoughts? Aaron, you do a great job. Yeah, sure.
One thing you mentioned.
Yes, Rick.
Robin responsible for
Robin Ballmer, yes.
Yeah, she also does the Wednesday lunch concerts too.
Oh, yes, thank you for adding that. Yes, they're over at Woodland Park, yes. Thank you so much.
Noon, and I think I don't know how, but it's pretty much every Wednesday.
Yes.
I kind of watch for a particular that I want to see it here. Yeah, they're well attended, and they fill the shelter there pretty well.
And I believe Rotary sometimes has music as well.
At the Rotary Park's on Sunday. I've not caught any of those myself.
Yes.
I know they get some good talent.
Anybody else have anything else?
The
Yeah.
sculptures, I believe,
Yeah.
there's pads that were before, I believe there's gonna be
A dozen?
a dozen.
I didn't hear the exact number. She said several, but I didn't get a.
Grand opening of that is maybe this month.
Later this month?
I don't know off the top of my head yet. Nothing to me.
The orange, whatever those are.
Not that one of those.
Right, right. No, I have a question, and maybe you know the answer or not, but some of you may.
Yeah.
Are both of those the same height?
No.
They aren't? Oh, man. I lost.
One of them's only 4 foot tall, it goes on the buildings, with the one in the park is.
Okay, okay. Well, I guess, don't tell her that. I said, no, that's optical illusion. It's the same sizes, but that doesn't go in it.
Good try.
Thanks, Greg. I think.
I had nothing to do with either one of them.
Well,
I think I read that somewhere.
yeah, and I actually, I had gotten a call from someone asking about that orange along the road, and I didn't know it off the top of my head what was up with it. And I called out to the office, Judy Hagan ended up giving me a call back, so thanks for that as well. But she didn't know the difference in size.
I think I got that on Facebook or something.
Yeah, I don't do that, so.
I don't either, my wife, you know.
Have we made a decision, or has the recreation committee made a decision on like placement of that cat that we were discussing at our June meeting about over there at Rotary Park?
I will put that in my notes. We are going to be meeting next Tuesday. Yes, we have not had a meeting because we have had a lack of agenda items, but we're going to be meeting next Tuesday at 6:30. Thank you for asking. All right.
Because I think we made a recommendation last meeting about putting the
I have in my-
crosswalk locations.
Yes, I think the crosswalk is a great idea. I'm all for it. Okay, so walking path, rotary, and cross path. Anybody else?
Just a more question of curiosity. For years, several years ago, I kept seeing little donation buckets at like Churchill's for a skate park. I was just curious, did anything ever happen with that?
That has never come before our committee, recreation, and I was not on council at the time, but I was at a lot of the council meetings where that young man came. I thought it was a great idea. And I think he talked at the time about putting that in Rotary Park, but I think he's since moved, someone told me, to Bowling Green.
Okay.
So I don't know what's happened with that. Do you know, Greg? I know he had raised money toward it, so I don't know what he did about it. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
In fact, I even attended his fundraisers that he had, so. Anybody else? Anything else?
One more question, I'll ask you, Frank. Do you know the spot between the big bridge and 3 Meadows Drive? There's a huge round spot. An old concrete asphalt, it's in a big ditch. Have you ever seen it? It's like they dumped old concrete, old asphalt. Nothing grows in it, it's just probably 100 feet long, 40 foot wide, it's right at the edge of the ditch. Is this Army Corps of Engineers?
And which, the channel there?
So it's doing like a big bridge and a big culvert going up to 3 Meadows Drive here. It looks terrible. I assume it must be, what I'm asking you, the Army Corps of Engineers, you can't touch it.
No, that is, actually the watershed district. That runs through there. And also guess I haven't noticed the brown spot. Be interesting to see.
Does anybody else have any other thoughts? Okay, thank you so much. Erin, thank you again. You do a great job. Thank you.
Next agenda item would be review of action items. I guess someone brought up an action item regarding building just a building, creating some type of either natural or some natural path around the pond.
Yeah, I brought it up, I think a year ago, had a walking path on the track around the whole park, especially in the back, where the Steve Western.
Is that an action item we want to vote on? Bring it in, make a recommendation. And Councilwoman want to bring it up to,
Hang on, I'm grabbing my pen. Okay, what was your
I
recommendation?
make a motion to recommend that we, put a bike or put a walking path of some sort around
Walking track, running track around,
Rita's
yeah.
Large pond.
Multi-use path paved
Yeah,
versus what it was.
yeah, so you asphalt.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call. Tony Wade. Tony Wade. Sorry.
What's your vote? Yes.
Will Harbauer.
Yes.
Rick Giltz.
Yes.
Randy Farringer.
Yes.
Aaron Finley.
Yes.
Lindsay Bucher.
Yes.
Other action items that.
Is there any update on like, I know last time I asked at the very end about what plans we have in looking at building a new park? Is there any update on like, I think I asked like, what are the next steps? What is required of us to, not just us, or be required, but like, what's the process? And I think I asked if somebody could talk about that in the future.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer. Trying to find out. And where did you want to build it?
I would like to know what the process is, not what to build or where to build it, but I want to know what the process is. So,
Would we be out of order in maybe inviting, planning and zoning might be the first step for that, would I be correct?
Yes, you would.
And maybe invite representatives that might attend, and then we could at least know that process.
that'd be great. So next meeting,
It's a good idea.
that'd be great to have. Is it
I have-
great?
It is. I had mentioned it to
Okay.
him and to our law director. I just
It might be an
make it on
issue.
the agenda. So we'll make it on the agenda in September.
I'm wondering, it might be about city land that they're looking for. Am I right, Greg?
Yeah, I know in the past, sometimes developers were required to contribute to or set aside land for public recreation. I don't know if that's still, Anthony. I know with, everybody in Kenny Woods, the Coalport area, that some land was set aside for park use. And it's, that living space there as well. I don't know the timeline on that being developed. Further, I know there's some green space set aside in that area.
Would that become Mr. Gold, Greg?
Yes. For that development. But that may be a start. And then I believe there's also money budgeted for land purchase. haven't seen that in the budget at times. I'm not exactly sure where we are with that, for this upcoming budget.
Okay. So it sounds like maybe on the west side of the room, if anything's gonna happen.
But that's the side I think we definitely did notice that too. So, cool. Great.
Kind of piggybacking off that, I don't recall if I brought this up, but so there's land between the two cemeteries on the road there, and there's a drive back there. It looks like the city keeps dirt piles back there, and there's tons of trees. And it backs up to the plastic plant.
Okay, then that's cemetery property.
So
That's cemetery. That's cemetery.
Cemetery property.
so cemetery owns that. Okay.
Should be across the street.
Yeah.
Who gets fields?
The actual section of this is quite wooded actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cemetery owns that too.
Yeah, and the drive that goes back there, they used to have access to the
Right.
land alphabetical.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cemetery acquired that, it's probably 10 years ago.
So it's kind of just that we area for a part, but.
Next to the cemetery.
Plastic plant.
Yeah, there's some neat ponds there.
There is. Around here.
The one issue with the swimming pool and the closing so early, I know in the past, and it's an issue with myself, and when school starts so early, they have staffing issues, so that's what it's been forever. I just don't know if they're gonna figure that out, how to get around that. So that's just pretty. Just get them back to school and they just don't have adequate staff to keep going. And you know, if we, get the pool lights,
Yeah.
make it worthwhile.
Any last input from them? Okay. So, to adjourn, motion to adjourn. Second. Thank you all.